Do people ask, how are you? I'm not talking about the cavalier momentary exchange at a cash register, but I'm talking about the ones that actually know you. Do they ever ask you, how are you? And it's a nice thing to ask for the people that really mean it and that care. Now, if they know you're going through something, right, and they don't ask, how are you? That's a telltale sign. But I would think most of your friends do ask, how are you, that know that know you, that care. And sometimes when you're going through something that's exceptional and it's something that isn't normal, the normal cares of life. We normally ask the normal cares of life, but when you know that there's something exceptional, a diagnosis, a cancer treatment, a car accident, a potential death, a surgery, we especially now know how the situation should be asked with a lot more vigor, interest, and empathy, because now we are aware that they were in a car accident or they were a victim of a crime or they're sitting there on life support somewhere or in the middle of a surgery. Do you ask them, how are you? Yes, you do. But the world does not stop because of our individual incidents, accidents, situations. And you could be so blindsided by it that you forget to ask them, how are they? How are you doing? You can get so consumed with your own cross that you think it means I should no longer bear the cross of someone else. I am no longer my brother's keeper now that I've got this big deal, this big need. And people do that even when they become successful. A lot of times they share when they have very little, but once a person gets a lot, they find it much more difficult to share. Or the portion is bigger, and you give your friend the bigger portion and you keep the smaller one. I had a guy years ago growing up in my youth where he tithed all right to himself. He gave God 90% and he lived off of 10. Do you ask other people how they're doing? Because their lives are still going on as well. And I have seen so many people fail in that area of compassion and hospitality. When I was in the hospital, I remember witnessing to the nurses and praying for them. When I went to my therapist, I remember sharing and praying with them. Every doctor. I remember when I was hopping around on crutches, all of the various things. When they took me away in an ambulance, I began to preach and minister to the paramedics. Yes, I'm hurt, yes, but can I minister to you? Oh, I prayed for their marriage, or someone was about to have a baby. Don't ever lose sight, because I'll tell you why. When you are in the middle of suffering, that's when you should be at your highest empathy. Anyone who's doing well, praying for someone who's not well, is very limited. But anyone who's going through it themselves, having a difficult time, what a prayer you can pray. What help you can offer. It is not just when you're strong or when you seemingly don't have the worries they have. It's so much more meaningful when people who are going through it are still interested in how you're doing. What can I do to help? Oh, you in your situation. People tell me that all the time. Well, how can you afford to give? You have so little. What does that mean? I have so little. To have anything in any amount is so much. You always have something to give. You always can give. And you always can sacrifice. And you always can care, even though you have cares of your own. That has the strongest effect. Never forget that, beloved. Never forget that.